sixth time a USGA championship is being held in Kentucky, and for the first go-around, right here at Olde. The inaugural playing of this event was back in 1949, but today, two young and talented ladies are on the cusp of greatness. This Arthur Hills design opened in 2006 and has provided a stern but fair test all week long for the most prestigious girls' championship in the entire world. So glad you could join us on this Saturday afternoon. Steve Burkowski with you alongside Kay Cockrell, a two-time U.S. Women's Amateur Champ, and a couple of the best amateurs in the entire world on the course for us. Amelia Miliaccio, part of the victorious U.S. Curtis Cup team at Marion a couple months ago, and Julia Johnson, member of the 2021 NCAA National Championship team at Ole Miss. Ryan Farb along as well from the USGA in case we need to discuss any rule scenarios. A lot of highlights in this 36-hole championship match, Kay. We go to the morning 18. This is 14-year-old Gianna Clemente, her second at 17.
Yeah, it had been a tight match between the two players. Gianna one down going into the 17th hole until she hit it in tight and would end up winning that 17th and squaring up the match.
Then at the par 5 18th, Yana Wilson, what a touch here with her fourth.
Got into trouble off her tee shot, made a wonderful recovery here with her fourth. Looked like she was going to lose the hole, but with that shot, she in fact would end up winning the 18th.
Yeah, wow is right. A one-up lead at lunch for Wilson. Afternoon 18 underway. The par 4 first, the 19th hole of this championship match, and a great approach by Clemente.
She won this first hole in the morning. She has struck the ball beautifully with her irons. A great example there.
Wins the hole, ties the match up yet again. Then at the par 3 third, the 21st hole, Wilson for birdie.
Just a beautiful shot in on this tough 190-yard par 3.
Wilson one up, but not for long. Clemente for par to win the very next hole to tie it up yet again.
And that putter that it was a little cold in the morning, starting to heat up.
Off to the 5th, the par 4, Clemente for birdie to take her first lead since the morning in the 7th hole.
Yeah, this is a huge point in the match, winning 2 holes in a row, going from 1 down to now 1 up.
Time now for the marquee match presented by Rolex. Gianna Clemente, the 14-year-old from Estero, Florida, 16th seed through stroke play. 167th in the World Amateur Golf Ranking, her very first U.S. Girls Junior Championship appearance, going up against the 15-year-old Yana Wilson from Henderson, Nevada, 87th in the World Amateur Golf Ranking. She made it to the quarterfinals a year ago in this championship before bowing out to the eventual champion, Rose Zhang. We got a great one, going to be a fun next couple of hours.
Ridge.
Yeah, and it's an interesting shot in that you cannot see the surface of the green. It's obstructed by a mound that's in front of that bunker. So a little bit visually challenging.
And this is hanging out a little bit to the right.
Yeah, a rare green mist for Gianna. It's been her strength, at least the last couple of days. There's a much-needed green hit in regulation. Doesn't quite climb over that spine, but that'll be in just fine position. We haven't had to see her chip too often. Her ball striking has been so solid. It'll be interesting how she pulls this one off. Yeah, didn't get it high enough or hard enough.
Well, you heard Chance tell her it's all about the contact there.
Overread that left to right portion a little bit, but overall the speed was quite good.
Clemente for par.
She got a good look at Yana's putt on the last one. Yana overread that a little bit, like you said, and this would be big for Gianna. She hasn't rolled in a lot of longer putts today. Her putter was pretty cold in the morning round, so to get this going, give her a little bit of momentum. Should swing left to right the whole way.
Yeah, that looks like a really good read. Now, if she goes on to lose this hole, the mistake really came with the poor chip shot.
So the 4 conceded to Clemente. Wilson a couple of feet remaining for her par to win the hole and tie the match up yet again.
And that'll be just the second bogey for Gianna on this afternoon.
Oh my goodness. We saw that at the second earlier where Clemente
Gianna,
3-putted from 10, 12 feet. Missing a short one like that.
That was a gift.
It was.
Low expectation mode, and she's playing in her first girls junior, so everything she does is new and exciting and something that she's experiencing for the first time.
Tee shot on the way at 9.
On a perfect line down the middle of the fairway. There's a bush out in the distance on the right edge of this tree.
But her mental strength has been one of the best parts about her game, and this is a good drive down the right side of the fairway. Caught really nicely.
With 2 beautiful golf swings.
Here, just trying to find a good yardage to give herself on this third shot. She has 255 to this whole location. She's been great with her wedges all week, so this shot's just about laying up to the right position. Give yourself a number you're comfortable with to get to this back hole location today.
So no thought of her chasing one down there and trying to get it close to the front of the green.
No, I don't think so. It'll be a difficult putt up to this back ridge, and she's been very good with her wedges today.
Oh, yeah. That flagstick 36 paces on all the way
This
towards
is
the
pulled.
back of the green.
I'm back.
Yeah, the pull's not a not a bad bailout contingent coming out of the state.
Clemente, her 3rd.
She has 116 to this whole location. These greens are very soft, so she can get something all the way back here, and it will sit 6 paces behind this.
Oh,
Oh,
what an awful break.
that was... Oh, you hate it when that happens, and it happens every once in a while. That flag just...
Today,
Yeah, she stays with it, stays very steady through the strike.
About 2.5 feet. Really well done.
Really, and gave it a legitimate chance, just carried it a little bit on the high side.
Her 4th.
She and her caddy discussed what to do with this for a while Yana was putting. There's multiple different ways you can hit this shot. You can take a wood and almost putt it. Looks like she's going to go for the longer swing. Just try to carry it further. That just came out a little heavy.
That's easy to do when you're dealing with that thick, long Kentucky bluegrass. It's also mixed in with tall fescue. And your opponent a hole, at least if she can make this, she forces Yana to have to make that short putt for birdie.
How about that 5?
That showed a lot of grit right there. She may not win the hole, but that was a big win.
Good 2-putt for Yana Wilson. Birdie wins the 9th. They are tied up through 27 holes of this championship match.
won a couple holes to go, all tied, starting the 10th, which she's done in this match as well. And this is down the right side of the fairway.
If there's a good 9 to have success on and fall in love with, usually it's the back 9.
Ways. Yesterday in the semifinal match, she hit a bomb on this hole over those left fairway bunkers and got a good kick. Looking to keep something in the left center of this fairway.
She just has a beautiful swing, and her coach, her swing coach is here, Spencer Graham. He's been working with her since she was 7 years old. She has beautiful rotation of her upper body and just works on kind of having a body-driven swing release and keeps her hands out of it, and that's why she's so consistent.
Well, you've been a fan of the swing ever since we saw her a couple of days ago, and to get to this point, all that hard work is paid off so far for Gianna Clemente.
You just heard her caddy, Chance Presley, say the wind is still helping, coming off the right to left at her back. Looking a little right at this whole location.
Block.
It's hard to tell where that ended up, perhaps in the front bunker.
Yeah, they wanted that one to fly. They both said it simultaneously.
Yeah, it looks like she was probably a little bit in.
So you can't sacrifice distance, but you can sacrifice a little bit of direction. Leaking a little right.
Well, that's kind of close to where yesterday's hole location was.
Very close. You can see it there, about 5 or 6 feet. It's awfully impressive.
Well, and if you look back to the round of 32, she was 4 down with 8 to play and ended up winning that match 2 up. So she has dug herself out of some bad spots this week. And not what she wanted, of course. Hit that thin. And this is where she just needs to calm down and not get too riled up.
But when you're 14 and you can say all the right things.
To sit, but she should be looking to hold this, so get a good line on it. Try to get this just a couple feet on the green and let it trickle down to this hole.
Oh, beautifully done. That was excellent touch.
So the 5 likely to be conceded to Clemente.
Not an easy putt to 2-putt, even though we saw a great 2-putt on the last for Yana.
Probably hoping for a little bit cozier to that hole. Good 2-putt. Wilson getting the job done there at the 10th.
Wilson, 1 up.
This is down the right side.
Oh, Yana. Right.
Minute window to see what happens moving ahead.
And her demeanor has stayed very calm. She doesn't get too up, too down. She'll walk quickly sometimes, but she's a very calm player. This is also headed to the right side of the fairway.
Her coach, Spencer Graham, told me that she has that X factor. I think both these players do, and that they're extremely competitive, and she just hates to lose. And that's generally what drives these young golfers. Ideally taking this down the left-hand side, everything kicks a bit left to right.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Got in the fairway to this whole location back right. The wind is coming into out of the right. So just important to find the fairway here and give herself a good yardage for her next shot. This is headed right.
Should be good, right? Yeah.
That'll be okay. Well short of the rough. A little bit longer approach shot in than her opponent.
Yeah, it ain't nothing.
Yeah, it's a blind third from down below. That hole all the way back.
Just about 6 paces in front of this whole location where it's cut on this right side. That's just a little short.
And that's a couple shots in a row that she's been off on her numbers.
This is going to be a little short.
Yeah, and that you can see the slope is pretty extreme left to right. And also the back part of this green slopes towards the back. A couple of greens today. I think she's just a little out of practice with chipping and the feel around these greens. that speed got away from her, probably a product of the lie. She may only need 2 putts to win this hole. Didn't quite lag it up there like she wanted to, and that's the old adage, oh, all you need is 2 putts to win the hole. Well, it's hard to lag putt, to give yourself an easy lag putt. It's this game.
Big par putt for Clemente.
And I like what her caddy, Chance, just did. He picked a spot just a couple of feet in front of her ball. It kind of takes out only focusing on making the putt. Just roll it over this spot, hit it where you want, and if it goes in, it goes in. If it doesn't, you did everything you could do. Uphill, breaking right a little bit at the end.
How about that?
Again,
Really good.
really methodical there, and just never changed the pace of her putt.
Wilson remains
Beautifully
1
done.
up.
And that's her caddy, Tate Hanks, who just recently graduated from Bowling Green High School.
And this is a great shot down the right side.
Strong all day with her driver. She's hit the majority of the fairways she's looked at. Again, keep it down the right side of this fairway, and it'll give you a good angle into this green that sits below the fairway.
She looked at that one for a while.
Yeah, that went a little further.
This needs to get there.
Whoa. What happened there,
Goodness.
Amelia?
I don't know. It looked like she was staring it down. The wind just picked up, so could have launched a little too high and then ended up quite a ways short.
She's gonna take her rangefinder and look at that one more time.
5 hybrid in her bag that she loves. She hits it about 175. She hit it back on the 5th hole to 4 feet and birdied that hole, so she really likes this club.
Now, she hit it a little too far to the right. If she had landed that about 2 paces to the left, it may have kicked on and down. So by moving this tee box back, the wind picking up.
Good contact there.
Pretty good result.
Really nice. The flight of the ball to that spot and then how it will release.
Stay there.
Picked a pretty good spot.
I think she did. It looked initially like beautiful stroke. Her stroke would and kept her head really still, almost just listened for that ball to drop to the bottom of the cup.
Wilson, 1 up.
A couple of pretty good 4s there.
Really good.
Wilson and Clemente.
I think it's causing a little bit of concern with shots, and I'm sure it feels good out there.
And this is a very solid shot, just right of the hole.
Beautiful. Well, she's figured out her ball striking in the last hour and a half. You can react to them.
See how Clemente will react.
Hates it.
And that's another ball that's just hanging out a little weak right.
Yeah, that's gonna, quite a few hours.
Exactly. It'll be a good test of her speed control.
Really nice.
Yeah, well done.
Think too much about the break, just speed.
This to go 2 up for the first time today when she did it.
The queen answers.
Wow. That was impressive.
3, Wilson 2. Wilson 2 up.
Remember,
Okay.
she started off this afternoon going bogey, bogey, birdie, bogey, and managed to hang in there, and her long game has turned around. Basically 240 to the center of the green, dead on.
Wilson with driver.
This is a perfect shot if it's the distance just on the left side of the green.
And really going a little long here is okay. You have to imagine it's going to hit the green and release through. That's a really good shot. Edge that drips off to the left, and same if you push it, there's a false edge that melts away on the right.
This is on a good line too, left center of the screen.
Similar result.
Wow, how similar were those two shots? I think it looks like Gianna will.
That's the difficult part of these chips, is trying to determine what exactly it's going to do and be committed to the shot. Be committed to the shot where it'll come out hot, or committed to the shot where it's going to maybe come out a little dead. You just have to put a committed swing on it and hope it comes out the way you're expecting.
She has to. Well, that came out dead.
Never quite seemed to get comfortable over that one, Kay.
And she gave that plenty of hits. Oh, and there's a false edge she has to be careful of.
Not done yet.
That it's catching that false edge. And that was a huge mistake.
Goes back to your point about comfort level's important, but maybe just a little.
Well, she thought she had to hit this much more firmly to get through that thick grass. Took way too big of a backstroke. Caught it really solidly. It didn't bounce too much. It had great end over end roll, and it just was too much hit. And they've traded a couple gifts today, and I'd say that was a gift. What a gorgeous stroke. I cannot believe that didn't.
Wilson's tee shot on the way.
And it's dead into the wind right now. This headed towards the right side of that bunker in perfect position.
That'll make this 418 yards play a little bit longer.
Routine, the exact same every time. I think that's been key for her hitting all these fairways. She's been very methodical on the tee box.
Yep, another good swing right there. Yeah, that hitting the flagstick at the 9th hole, and then that little putt, that putt just not dropping in.
But she does have a lot of room in front of this hole to work this ball up that neck.
Yeah, and if you're a little in between clubs, coming up short of the hole is okay. She's lucky with that one. Kind of came out of it, but it trickled onto the green. Yeah, her first iron is a 6 iron. Looks like she's gripping it down about 1 inch.
This is right at the flag if it gets there.
Oh, is it
does.
there?
What a shot by Clemente.
Sit down right there. Everything starts sloping away. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is what makes this green so treacherous. Is about just past the hole, everything starts releasing toward first long putt in some time. So hopefully that memory, she lagged it up there nicely. Hopefully that memory carries through to this. Nope, didn't hit it. I don't think she hit the center of the club face. I think she ought to be able to handle this one pretty easily. Another lip.
It makes sense that at this point Gianna is having Yana putt everything out. A lot of the line right now.
Solid.
Yep, as hard as that par 4 was playing, pretty good idea that a 4 would win the hole. We'll see if Yana can get a little more on this shot and get it past that ridge.
It's 149 yards, and this needs to go. It's in a similar spot as this morning.
Yeah, it's tough to get it all the way back there. That hole's located 27 paces on, just five from the left.
Birdie.
Took the aggressive line.
Yeah, a little release through, but that was what she needed to do. Not bad. Certainly not to gimme range.
Her backswing there.
Go. Go.
Right on line.
Boy, she had that red well. Maybe just a teeny bit of the hop out of the grass, slowed it down enough. Yeah, that's Drake's Creek that runs on the edge of this golf course. It's a favorite watering hole for a lot of the locals.
Yana looking on, thinking we're going to play some more golf. Really speaks to the respect they have for one another. The par conceded to Clemente. Now the stage set for 15-year-old. She's done it. Yana Wilson, the 3rd seed after 36 holes of stroke play. Bowing out to Rose Zhang a year ago, hung around to watch Rose win. Motivated, said, I'm going to do it a year later. Dreams come true, Kay.
They sure do. And I'm really proud of her, how she hung in. There's a bunch of the Perry crew. The way she hung in this afternoon when started the afternoon matches, and she struggled. Bogeyed 3 out of the first 4 holes. Oh, that's fun.
That's the price you pay for your fan club.
She did sandwich a birdie in at the 3rd, but then she figured out her ball striking. She only hit 1 out of like the first 7 greens, and then there's Dad Jim. Can't imagine how proud he is of her.
Not the way you wanted to finish this week, but you played some amazing golf the entire week. You have to be really proud of yourself. What can you take away from how you played?
I think I definitely need to do some putting work, but I did play well. I mean, you know, you can't complain about winning 5 matches, so I'm just going to move on to the next one, and I'm going to go home and rest, and then go prep for the next one. That's all you can do.
Yeah, so now you're exempt into the U.S. Amateur out at Chambers Bay. What does your prep look like for that? Are you excited to get out there and compete?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm super excited. Me and my dad were actually just talking about before the first tee how we're going to find flights to book because it's so soon. But yeah, I'm super excited. Definitely going to get some really good prep in for that. And it's my first AM since I was 11, so definitely really excited for that for sure.
Have you proven to yourself that you can play with the best players in the world this week?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I beat some amazing players this week in stroke play and in match play. So it happens. You don't always play your best, and that's okay. I just didn't make enough putts today, didn't hit enough greens, and it happens. It's all right.
Well, great week. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished, and I'm sure we'll see you in the future. Back.
Thank you, Burko. What a spectacular week it has been here at the club at Old Stone. I would first like to introduce USGA Executive Committee member Sinclair Eady.
Thank you. This has been an incredible week. Thank you to the club at Old Stone, your membership and your staff for presenting a phenomenal championship. On behalf of the USGA, I congratulate both Yana and Gianna on a well-played match. It is my pleasure to present a gold medal and a trophy to the champion of the 73rd U.S. Girls Junior Championship, Yana Wilson.
Yana, you are a USGA champion. You watched Rose Zhang play last year, and that really motivated you to be in this exact spot, and now you're here. Can you describe your emotions right now?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. You know, I just really want to thank Rose for that, honestly, because she taught me a lot last year, and I'm just really happy to be here right now.
Yeah, I'm sure all the emotions and everything will sink in. What would you say was the turning point in your match today?
Probably when we made the turn. I knew that I was more of like a back nine player, and I knew I would kind of come back because I know I was down. I think going into 8 or going into 9, I don't remember, but yeah, I feel like that was probably the turning point in my match.
Yeah, for sure. You ended up getting to a 2-up lead and winning on this hole. And lastly, you're going to be exempt into the U.S. Women's Open next year at Pebble Beach. Has that sunk in yet? And what does that mean to you?
No, I mean, nothing has really sunken in yet, but that honestly sounds unreal. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Well, congratulations. You're officially the U.S. Girls Champion, and enjoy the celebration.
Thanks so much.